Hey everyone, it's Max.
And I'm Anna. Welcome back.
In our last video, we talked about how to stop translating in your head. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out on the channel.
Sorry to jump in, but can you grab me some water? I basically melted on my way over here.
Here you go. Yeah, it's brutal out there today.
Thanks. That already helps a bit.
You know, there's this unwritten rule for how every video is supposed to go. Right about now, we're supposed to ask you to smash that like button and subscribe. But honestly, we think that's a bit silly.
If you're actually enjoying this, you'll hit like on your own. No one needs to beg you for it. And if you're not enjoying it, well, that's on us for picking a boring topic.
So since we're already breaking the rules, let's break one more. From now on, you pick our topics.
Drop a comment and tell us what you'd like to hear about in a future episode.
Love that idea, Anna. We'll read every single comment. Anyway, as promised last time, today we're talking about the weather.
And honestly, the weather right now is no joke. I can't leave the house without sunscreen and a hat.
Speaking of which, did you catch the news about the heat wave in Europe this year? It's honestly kind of wild.
I did. Spain hit 45 degrees Celsius. That's an all-time record.
And in Germany, in a city called Trier, it got up to almost 41. That's the fourth record in a row there.
Berlin was close to 42. Apparently, they haven't seen heat like that in nearly 140 years.
Even the UK broke its all-time record. Usually it's just rain and gray skies over there.
And in France, I heard Bordeaux hit almost 42 degrees. That's a record for them as well.
In Italy, 17 major cities issued the highest possible heat warning. Can you imagine that scale?
Honestly, it's scary to picture what the streets look like over there right now. Everyone must be hiding in the shade.
It's pretty rough here too, by the way. Yesterday, it was 35 degrees in the shade.
I noticed. I was outside for like an hour yesterday and turned bright red.
I actually handle the heat pretty well. I honestly prefer it over the cold.
Easy for you to say. You never burn. My skin is really fair. I burn almost instantly.
Is that why you're always carrying sunscreen now? I noticed you've got a full tube in your bag.
Yep, factor 50, nothing less. And I've started wearing long sleeves too, as crazy as that sounds in summer.
Is that why you wear a hat too? I always thought that was just a style thing.
Both, honestly. Without a hat, I get a headache from the sun in like half an hour.
Personally, at home on the balcony, I like walking around without a shirt in this weather. I feel like a tan actually suits me.
Lucky you. Your skin tans nicely. If I don't cover up, I turn red almost instantly.
Honestly, I think water is the only real cure for this heat. I'm drinking about twice as much as usual these days.
That's debatable. There's a right way to hydrate too, you know.
The heat's completely changed my routine, honestly. I've started getting up an hour earlier, while it's still cool.
I've done the opposite. I've been going to bed later. Once the sun goes down, that's finally when it's nice to be outside.
Makes sense. You really shouldn't go outside during the day, especially between noon and 4. That's peak oven mode.
My friend works in an office with no air conditioning. She says by lunchtime, it's basically unbearable in there.
We're lucky enough to have AC at home. Though, on the other hand, that means we're using way more electricity.
Yeah, I read that electricity prices are going up across Europe because of this.
Makes sense. Everyone's running their AC at the same time, and the power grid just can't keep up.
My neighbor bought a fan and now just sits in front of it all day with a wet towel over his shoulders.
Honestly, I bet perfume and deodorant stores are having their best month of the whole year right now.
For sure. In this heat, you really don't want to leave the house without deodorant.
I actually saw someone who put a block of ice right in front of their fan. Apparently, that's supposed to help.
Does it actually work?
A little bit, maybe. Honestly, I think it's more of a mental comfort thing than actual cooling.
I'm just waiting for a good thunderstorm at this point. It can't stay this hot forever. We're not living in the Sahara.
Sooner or later, a storm's going to roll in and cool things down.
I actually really love a hot summer, as long as I don't overdo it and overheat.
Easy for you to say. You're not the one going for a run in this weather, like I am. It's basically torture.
Meanwhile, I go swimming in the river almost every single day. That's my way of beating the heat.
I've basically been living on ice cream in this weather. I think I've eaten more of it this week than the rest of the year combined.
Same here. Plus, I'm drinking iced tea by the gallon. Hot tea in this weather is just not happening for me.
By the way, how's your cat handling this heat? My dog has just been lying flat on the floor all day, not moving an inch.
My cat's been sleeping in the bathtub lately, right on the cold tile. That's apparently the only spot that works for her.
Smart move. Honestly, I caught myself lying on the floor next to the dog the other day, too.
Sounds like you two really understand each other in this weather. I had a similar day last week, actually.
Wait, what happened?
I was driving home from work, and the AC in my car just gave out, right in the middle of traffic. It was awful.
Oh no, I can only imagine. Being stuck in traffic without AC in this heat is genuinely rough.
I got home completely drenched and jumped straight into a cold shower. It was pure relief.
Something kind of interesting happened to me recently. Actually, the opposite. After a few days of heat, a storm just rolled in out of nowhere.
Oh, I remember that day. The sky went dark in like 10 minutes, and then it just poured.
Exactly. And the temperature dropped like 10 degrees almost instantly. It actually felt cool for a bit.
Yeah, but the heat came right back the next day anyway. A storm like that is more like a short breather than anything else.
True, but it was nice while it lasted. At least for one night, I could sleep without the fan running.
You know, a lot of people actually sleep worse in this kind of heat. I've noticed that about myself, too.
Yeah, I've been sleeping worse than usual, too. I've had to keep the window open all night just to get any airflow at all.
I just run the fan all night long. I genuinely can't fall asleep in this weather without it.
So, speaking of the weekend, do you have any plans yet for how to deal with this heat?
Yeah, some friends and I are heading to the beach. Apparently, the sea breeze actually helps out there.
I'm thinking about heading up into the mountains myself. It's cooler up there, and I could actually use some fresh air.
That sounds great. Actually, some of our friends decided to just stay home with the AC and not go anywhere at all.
Honestly, that's not a bad plan either, especially if you've got a pool in the backyard.
I actually have a little inflatable pool at home. In the evening, I just sit in it with my feet up and relax.
That sounds really nice. Personally, though, I think I'll go for a trip somewhere further from the city.
Aren't you worried the mountains will be packed too? Everyone's looking for somewhere to escape this heat.
Maybe, but I'm going anyway. Even if it's crowded, it'll still be cooler than the city.
Fair enough. I'm still going with the beach option. I just want to swim and lie on the sand for a while.
Just don't forget your sunscreen, or you'll burn even worse than usual.
Don't worry, I won't forget. I've already packed a whole bag of it.
Also, grab plenty of water for the drive. Being stuck in a hot car with no water is genuinely miserable.
What are you bringing up to the mountains, by the way? It probably gets cold in the evenings up there. You'll need a sweater.
Yeah, I'm definitely bringing a sweater and a light jacket. It's hot during the day, but the evenings up there are a whole different story.
That's such a difference, right? Down here, it's the same weather all day long, but up in the mountains, everything changes within a couple of hours.
That's exactly why I love the mountains. You get to escape the heat during the day and still sit by a campfire in a sweater at night.
That actually sounds really nice, now that you mention it. Maybe next time I'll go to the mountains instead of the beach.
Well, hopefully this heat eases up soon. Even getting down to 30 degrees would be a relief at this point.
Agreed. Even a little bit cooler would be great. But for now, I guess we just have to tough it out.
On that positive note, let's wrap up today's chat about the weather. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Don't forget, in our next episode, we're talking about bikes and scooters in the city. That one's going to be a fun topic.
And if you've got a topic idea of your own, drop it in the comments. We'll read every single one.
Thanks for spending this time with us. Stay safe out there in this heat and drink plenty of water.
See you next time, everyone. Enjoy the summer, however hot it turns out to be.
Bye!